Perfect. All right, Mr. John Alcala, we are excited to have you tonight. Such an honor for you to be on this evening. I got a special guest tonight because it's basketball season, so I
I,
have to hang with
I
my
feel
best
you.
friend tonight. But what an honor to have you on today. You have done such a phenomenal thing here at It Works over these last almost a year. And I just want to tell you that we are grateful for your service, for your hard days, for the good days, for your willingness to continue to show up regardless of what you may feel, which is something we talk about a lot here, for your willingness to know that as much as you're doing this for your purpose, for your calling, for your family, that you also know that you're doing it for my family as well,
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Miss Shania's family, for Lydia's family. And so we honor you today and we just appreciate you taking this time. And we just excited to hear from you.
No, it's so great to be on. Thanks for having me tonight. I just, I love our family here at It Works, and we've had the privilege for, almost 10 years before we jumped on this side of being in the field, building the business. And the thing that makes this special really is it's the family, it's the culture. You don't have to come from a particular way of life. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to have education. You just have to have a dream and a determination. And with those two things, really anything can change your life. And so it's been an honor to be able to serve along with Joey and Stacy and Sherry Lynn, and just serve the company that changed our life. And this past year has been it's been awesome. It's been a lot of change. I know, it's been a lot of shifting here and there, but one thing that I know is that we will never make a change that we don't truly believe is best for you and for the field and for your ability to make money and your ability to change your family's life. And so I am trying not to get too excited to 2024 because we still have 2023 right here, and we still have Christmas cash, and we still have all the things going to the end of the month. We have a new product coming in 6 days that I'm really excited about. But just a couple things. Let me just tell you why I'm excited about where we're going is everything that we've put in place in 2023. I believe has been a setup for exponential growth in 2024. We had to get things simple again. We had to make some changes so that we could make, someone could join the business and they could make money very quickly, but you didn't have to be a rocket scientist on how to do it, right? You could come in, you knew exactly what you're supposed to do, and you just do it over and over and over again. And we know that builds your business. That builds your business if you're a legacy leader. That builds your business if you're brand new coming in. And so, you know, all the things that we want to do, all the things we're working on, so many changes, but, I'm just looking forward to 2024. You're going to start seeing in the coming weeks that we're going to look a little bit different. Working on rebranding the company and getting a fresh feel and a fresh look, new products coming. Even with our schedule, we've switched it up this year. We're going to have CEO Summit coming the second-ish week of January. Typically we would have conference the end of January, early February. So even switching up the schedule to say, hey, you know what? We're not going to wait till late January, early February to come out of the gates. We're going to give you everything that you need January 1, and we're going to go and we're going to go fast and we're going to come out the gates fast so that we see promotions at the end of January and we're not waiting for conference. And so you're going to have everything that you need really January 17th that you would normally have at conference. We're going to announce everything. Got some really cool stuff coming way before that. And then we'll run. I mean, if there's one thing we know how to do, it's health and wellness in the first 6 months of a year. We've done it well. We've done it well for 22 years. And that's boom time, baby. That's when we do what we do at It Works. And it's so exciting to know that we're going to go into that. And so CEO Summit will carry us in February, March, January, February, March, and then we're going to come together in April for an April conference. It's never been done before with more products, more announcements, all the things. We wanted to get it away from Christmas because it's hard to take care of your family on Christmas and then turn around and travel and be at conference. So we wanted to push that back so that we could make some good money and everyone would be excited to be with us in April. It's going to be unbelievable. Conference is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And so the game plan we have for this year, I'm really excited about it. And I'm excited because we have built a foundation this year so that we can build in 2024. And so you can just feel it in the office. You can feel an anticipation. You can feel it in the field right now, a sense of unity and just focus of, you know what, we're ready for that boom. We're ready for that multiplication. We're ready for that duplication in our business. And, we just, when we took the job, we just said, Lord, we want who you want us to have on this ride with us. We don't want to handpick anybody. We don't want to assume who's with us and who's not. We just want, Lord, whoever you want to go on this ride with us, we want them here, and we want them to feel a part of our family. And we want them to know that we want each and every person to win in the coming years. And so I'm excited about where we're going from a business standpoint. I'm excited about what we've done. But really, this first year was just a year of kind of fixing. It was a year of realigning. It was a year of laying that foundation and letting that foundation sit. But now it's time to build, and now it's time to go on another run as a company. And what Coach did in his time and what he was able to build. I mean, it's mind blowing when you think about it. But I'm a believer that the best is yet to come. That our best days are ahead. They're not behind. That I serve a God that His ways are higher, His thoughts are higher, and who am I to try to put a lid on Him, right? And so my job and your job is to be obedient, to work in, and let Him do the rest. And as long as we do that, we're going to be just fine in every situation and everything that we go through. But it's about putting Him first, putting changing people's lives second, and putting the work in. And when you do those things in that order, you're going to win. Our company's going to win. It doesn't really matter what comes up against us. We don't worry about the things of the outside. We worry about what's inside, and we worry what we're putting out to the world. And is it a message of hope? Is it a message of dreaming? Is it a message of there's better for you? There's more for you? And I just really believe that that's in a place that we're in 2024, that we're walking into, is that we are going to be messengers to the world, that there's a different way. There's a better way. There's a family that believes in you. There's a family who wants you to excel and grow and be stronger. And it's awesome that we have a Black Excellence Zoom. And I'm going to challenge you tonight. I'll shut up about the business, but I want to challenge you tonight as a family, if I can, because we talk to family a little bit different. At least where I grew up in my Latino heritage, we had some hard conversations as a family, right? For right or for wrong, but we did it in a loving way. But we had Lanisa along with all the RFDs in the office. I guess that was last week or the week before. It's all a blur. I believe it was last week, but it was awesome. We got to spend some time. And, we went around the table and we asked every RFD, we said, what are you excited about 2024? What are some things that you want to see? And, Lanisa, she's Lanisa, man, she gets you fired up. But she said something that what maybe you need to hear. Is she said, it wasn't long ago that there were more of us talking about you in on the stage, more visibility, spotlight on you, all those things, and she said, I want that back. And I begin to chew on that, and I begin to think on that. And I think it just comes down to this, is that I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say it works as a home for everybody. Black, white, Latino, Asian, man, woman, it doesn't matter. But to see more people that look like you, and to see more people that look like you that can change the world, you know what it's going to take? It's going to take you stepping up. It's going to take you putting more work in. It's going to take you saying, you know what? I will be on that stage. I will be the example. I will be the leader of my team. I will lead strong, and I will lead bold, and I will do the things that that the others aren't willing to do. And you know what? If you make a commitment to do that together, guess what? You will be more represented. You will be on stage more. You will hit those ranks. You will be spotlighted more. But you know what it comes down to is that this business has a harsh way of just rewarding those who go at it and go at it with all their heart. This business does not care about credentials. It doesn't care about your upbringing. It doesn't care about a college education or not a college education. This business comes down to two things: hard work and consistency. And if you do that over and over again, guess what? You're going to win. You're going to win in this business. And I kind of like adopted that. When Lanisa was saying that, I was like, I want that too. Like, I want more Latinos on stage because I want more Spain. I want my heritage, my country of Spain. I want that country to absolutely explode because that's where my roots are from, right? And so I want to see it. I want to see it from this team right here, those who are represented on this Zoom, your teams that are represented on this Zoom. But it's going to take some people stepping up and saying, I'm willing to do what I haven't been willing to do in the past, or I'm willing to go to the next level. And I can just tell you, if you make that decision tonight, going into 2024, you're going to have all the promotions. You're going to have all the tools. We're going to give you all the resources we can possibly give you to be successful. And I just think about the world that we live in today. And it's something that I battle with internally all the time. And I heard it said to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. When I think about that, I think about this. I think about you need to be yourself because everyone else is already taken. All right. Enough trying to be who your friends are, enough trying to be who your mama or your daddy was, enough trying to be who has gone before. Listen, I'm not Mark Pentecost. I'm not even trying to be Mark Pentecost. I'm John Alcala. The Lord called John Alcala for this season to run this company. So I'm not going to be him. I'm not going to talk like him. I'm not going to look like him. I'm not going to act like him. I'm not going to do things like him. And you know what? That's okay. If the Lord wanted two Mark Pentecost, he would have clicked his little fingers or whatever he did and make two Mark Pentecost. But it's time right now to say, I'm going to be who God's called me to be. I'm going to step out in faith. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to accomplish this. I've got a dream. I've got a vision. I've got a goal, but I'm not going to let the world decide who I am. I'm not going to let however I was raised, whatever upbringing, like I had a great childhood. My parents were the poster children of the world, but I can tell you, I'm still not called to be them. I'm called to be who God has called me to be with Sherry Lynn in our marriage. And so it doesn't matter how good or how bad you had it. What are you going to do with who you are now and who God wants you to become? And that starts with you. There's not one person on this Zoom that can do it for you. There's not a leader that can do it for you. There's not a CEO that can do it for you. You have to make a decision in your mind and in your heart. This is what I want. This is what my kids need. This is what my family needs. I want to change my legacy. I want to change, whatever you're going through right now. I want to change that. That needs to be written somewhere where you see it every day. And it's the thing that motivates you to be who you have been called to be, not try to be like anyone else. He didn't call you to be like Lanisa. He didn't call you to be like Rachel. He didn't call you to be like me or Sherry Lynn. He called you to be you. And the fact is, the people who join you in this business, they didn't join It Works because of me. They didn't join It Works because of Lanisa. They didn't join It Works because of Sherry Lynn. They joined because they trusted you. They believed in you. And so you have an obligation to be the best version of yourself each and every day. And I just tell you, like, I want It Works to be home for everyone. I get on, the Germany Zoom and they're like, do I fit in here? Right. And then I get on the Latino Zoom and they're like, what's your vision for the Latinos? And I get on a Black Excellence Zoom and you're like, John, what's your vision for people who are like me, for Black people, male, female, what is it for me? And I look at every different type of person all over the world and they're looking at It Works and saying, what's in it for me? And this is what I'll tell you, whatever you want it to be. This is your home. This is a safe place. This is a place where one of the main reasons I took this job is because it gave me the ability to possibly change the world in one way, shape, or form. And I just, we can only reach who we can reach, right? You will reach who you can reach, and I can reach who I will reach, and Germany will reach who they will reach, and France will reach who they're going to reach, and Mexico will reach who they're going to reach, and Canada will reach who they're going to reach. But each of us have to make a decision that I have to change who is around me. Like I have to change, like my job is to change them for the better. My job is to give them an opportunity. And you know what? It may not even be in this business. It may be you inspire someone because of the way you do your business. They may never even join you in this business, but then when they watch you change their life, your life, maybe it will inspire them to change their life, change their situation, be better for their family, for their kids. And so when I think about this group right here, I think we have so much potential. We have so much potential to reach so many more people in our community, in our cities, in the state, really in the world. But it's going to start with you. It's going to start with you making a decision each and every day to step up, to be who the Lord's called you to be. And if we all do that together, we will literally change the world. We're doing it right now. We're changing 19 countries right now. And I feel like we're just scratching the surface. And so, Rachel, I'll shut up for a second if you have questions, but that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about where we're going. I'm excited about 2024. I'm excited for this group right here, but it's going to take a group saying, you know what? If there's going to be more of me up there, if there's going to be more of me in the spotlight, I'm going to have to do some things that I didn't do in the past. There's going to be, if John Alcala is going to be the CEO you need in a year, I'm going to have to do some things today that I didn't do this past year. In 2 years, I'm going to grow in another year, and you know I'm going to be better, but I've got to grow more, because you know what, you're going to need a different CEO in 3 years and 4 years and 5 years. And so the day we think that we have arrived or we're stagnant, we're done. But the day we understand that we keep growing, that we're called to be better, that there's more for us, that we serve a God who thinks differently than us. He thinks higher. His ways are higher. His thoughts are higher. I'm in for that. And so my job is to work hard. My job is to be true to myself, to speak life into people. And I just believe he's not only going to take care of me for that, he's going to take care of our company for that. And he's going to take care of the hundreds of thousands of people that we're responsible for as we change this world. And so that's my message to you. That's my call to you. 4 days before Christmas, that we have something special here. We're going to finish the year strong, but 2024 is a year of multiplication, and you need to start thinking that, believing that, and believing it for your team, and start saying it out loud, that I am going to do things that I have never done in my life in 2024. But you got to start believing it, and then you got to start putting the action behind it. If we all do that, we're going to have a heck of a year in 2024.
Woo! That is good. That is so good. So good. I don't even know what to say, but so good. And it's crazy because it's crazy, but this is what God does. It's just right in alignment with. We had devotion this morning, and we talked about the authenticity and how you have to be who you are.
Mhm.
And you just came in here and said that. And then also, it's crazy during my meditation that it just showed the cycles, like how many, just in a cycle, and you go towards the same path because the road is clear, right? So
Mhm.
because the road
Yep.
is clear, you keep going in the same path. And the crazy thing that God showed me today is that no, have you seen the movie Wreck-It Ralph? You know what I'm talking about? And
Yep.
what's her name? I don't even know the girl's name. Petunia. What's the girl's name? I don't know.
No,
You know what I'm talking about, though,
I
right?
know what you're
And you
talking
know how
about.
she like goes off track, but then there's a
Yep.
road there. You know what I mean? But she was finding these roads. That's
Yep.
exactly what he showed me. So you have to go off track if you're going to get to the next level. And when you go
Yep.
off track, there will be a clear road that'll take
Yep.
you to the destination that I want to take you in. And so that is so good because I believe that there are a lot of people who come into here, they come into this space of just following that easy road, following that easy road. And so they keep going around in circles. Like they keep
Yep.
making $500 a month. They keep making $50 a month, and or just covering their products instead of really taking themselves to the next level, because it is so uncomfortable, because people talk about you. She was talked about and they thought
Yep.
she was weird, but yet at the end they all wanted to be her friend. And so that is so good. That is so
No, that's so
good.
true. When I think about what you just said, is that one, if it was easy, everyone would do it and they'd make a ton of money, right? Two is that if it was easy, there's no reward in easy. There's no reward in easy. If I handed you I don't know, I'm thinking NBA right now. If I handed you a championship ring just because, and put it in your hand, you'd be like, that's cool. How much can I pawn this thing for? Because you know what? You didn't earn it, right? What's the value of something you didn't earn? When I think about this company, the money's going to be great. But when I think about doubling this company in the next 2, 3, 4 years, uh, the money's a byproduct of the reward. Like the reward is how many people's lives did we change by doubling this company? The reward is how many mamas came home to their babies. The reward is how many bills were paid because they stepped into this business. The reward is people came to know the Lord because they stepped into a business that they didn't even know was faith-based, and they came to the Lord. The reward is that when we double this company, we're doubling impact. It's not, the money is the byproduct. That's why we seek first the kingdom, right? And then all these things come afterwards. And so I'm just saying that, yeah, it's going to be hard, but it's worth it. Like this, stepping into this role as CEO, I thought what we were doing was hard. No, this is hard, baby. But you know what? I wake up every morning different. I wake up with a chip on my shoulder because we've got lives to change. We've got things to do. We've got products to bring out that change people physically. We've got a business model that can change people financially. We've got a message that the world needs to hear. And so you overlook the hard because you can see the victory, you can see the reward, you can see what God's doing and how he's doing it, and how once you're there, you're like, I have no freaking clue how I just did that, but I know who did it for me as long as I put the work in. And so you've got to understand that, yeah, it's going to be hard. You think it was easy going ambassador once? No. You think it was easy going ambassador twice? No, it was twice as hard. You think it was easy in my account ambassador after 2 times? No, it was harder than the first 2 times, but every time there was a reward that was greater than the previous. Someone once said to Michael Jordan, I think it was, is this your favorite championship? And he goes, no, the next one will be. And I just think about that, like the next victory, the next battle always leads to the next greater victory. And so I know it's hard sometimes. I know life is hard sometimes. I know that it throws you curveballs. I know that, bills are due. And I know that the struggle that comes with, more month than money. I understand when the AC breaks and you're in the heat of Texas and you can't get it fixed right away. So you got to ask a friend for a window unit. I live that life. I know what it's like when you have a car, when you press the gas pedal and it doesn't go, but you don't have enough money to get it fixed. I lived that life as well. I know that when me and Sherry Lynn first got married, we were both still in college. Her dad passed away. We were paying cash for her college, and I was making about $26,000 a year working for a church and then trying to sell cell phones. I've lived that life too, but all those things in those moments, they were just preparation for what was to come. They were preparation to have thicker skin. Lord took me to Wall Street. I'm like, Lord, why do you have me on Wall Street? It was to thicken my skin even more for this role that I stepped into. I had to be called a few names. I had to be questioned. I had to get beat up. I had to get talked down to, so that when I stepped into this role, when people talk trash about us, they talk about trash our company. It's just like, hey, go for it. We'll see. We will see. We will see what happens, because I know who we serve. I know what we do, and I know how hard we work. And time always has a way of victory being sweet and being awesome. But our job is not to worry about what others are doing. Our job is, what are we putting out to the world? And so I'm just saying, you think it's going to be easy? It's easy. It's easy to be executive. It's okay to be Ruby. It's a little bit harder, but you want to go diamond, you want to go double, you want to go triple. There is a price that you pay, but I promise when you get there, it is worth it every time. It is worth it to be able to tell my kids yes. It is worth it to be able to tell my kids, yes, you can come on a flight with me to corporate because I can pay for that plane tickets. It is worth it for me to be able to do things that we couldn't do before. And so you put it in so that you can do things that you never thought you can do. And I'm just saying, no, it's not always easy. It's not always comfortable, but my Lord, it is always worth it when you step into that moment of victory. It is always worth it when you raise that trophy. And it's not about you. It's not about what I accomplished. You look at the journey that it took. And then in this business, the reward is you look at the team that you have inspired and brought up. And that did it for me and Sherry Lynn. When we hit diamond, and that diamond check paid our mortgage, and I was driving into work, and I knew that, you know what, this month I could actually put money into savings. And then I saw rubies under us, and I said, man, if we can do this, how many diamonds can we make? And when we went top 10 for the very first time, our total volume was 257 in volume. Like it wasn't millions, but you know what? We had like 32 personally enrolled diamonds. You know why? Because we understood how it changed our lives. And so we said, no, everyone on our team's got to go diamond that wants to go diamond because it changed the way that we thought about this business. It gave us breathing room. It made us feel like we had a way out of our situation, that we could actually get ahead in our life. And that's the power that still exists in this business today. But you got to get inspired. You got to get it motivated. But more importantly, you got to put the action behind that excitement. Faith without works is dead, right? So you got to put the work in. You got to put it in every day, be consistent, inspire your team, and great things will happen if you show up every day. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard at times, but it's always worth it when you do it. And I'm just saying that I'm looking at the Zoom tonight and I'm just saying there's got to be some people that say, man, I want this. I want that. I want my team to experience this. And it'll be those handful, like let's be honest, it ain't going to be all of you. It won't. That's the fact. That's a raw fact. It ain't going to be all of you, but there's going to be a handful that after this Zoom going into the next year say, I'm not going to be, my business, my life will not be in the same situation that it was last year, the year before that. Somebody in this room tonight has to get tired, so tired of where they're at, that they're willing to do the things that they haven't done before. That's why me and Sherry Lynn went on a run. That's why our lives were changed in our business. We were tired of living the way that we were. We were sick and tired of something going wrong and us going back into debt. And so we made a decision. No, we're done. We found a vehicle. This is the vehicle that's going to do it. And 10 years later in June, it's still the vehicle today that has the potential to change hundreds of thousands of lives for the people that want it. And so we got to do it. We got to do it together.
Good. That's so good. Initially I was like, um, hearing from people on here, but to be honest, I think this is exactly what is needed here in this season, because I think a lot of times what happens is people feel sorry for themselves.
Mhm.
And I laughed, but I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's such a tactic of the enemy, because people start to believe the lies of the enemy. And so because they
Mhm.
believe the lies of the enemy, they're looking for justification of it, and
Yep.
understanding that you don't get out of where you are by justifying where you are. And there's been many times that I've been in the same place, because it is so frustrating, and it is, especially when people are showing up every day to work their business. And even that, in going into places of isolation, these are real things, letting pride overtake them to where they're not asking for help, they're not working with other people, embarrassed that they may not be getting the results that they desire, even though they feel like they're working their businesses. And so just really breaking out of that and hearing from you that, yeah, I tell people all the time, everything is figure outable. Like, there is no it works emergencies. We have a company that has integrity, that loves us and wants to see us do well. So there's no it works emergencies, and everything is figure outable. Literally, everything is figure outable. And then also knowing the God that we serve means that you have to just keep going. If you
Yeah.
keep going, then it'll work itself out. But there's a lot of people who don't keep going, and then
Yeah.
it doesn't work itself out. And so, which is why we have a lot of repeaters. I'll tell you that. Like, we have a lot of repeaters, a lot of people who come back because they decided to stop swimming because it got
Yeah.
difficult, and then justified the fact that they stopped swimming. And then, anyways, so hearing from
Yep.
you tonight is so good, because ultimately it's your willingness to keep going regardless, and it's your willingness to fight. And so that's essentially where we are, period. And it's crazy because I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do. You probably do. So I remember I was on an ambassador call with Sherry Lynn a few years ago, and you had did I guess she was freaking out or something like that, and you told her, stop tripping, let me look at the numbers. And so you looked at the numbers, and you analyzed how I think her it was top heavy, and then she's like, your checks are always lower in this season. It's
Mhm.
normal, but when I add it
Mhm.
all up, it's essentially the same place that you're always at. Like, it's
Mhm.
just right now the season, yeah, this check may be low, but
Mhm.
essentially, like, it's the same thing, even though it just all balances out. And so I
Right.
was thinking about this earlier, maybe the last 2 or 3 days. I told Brian, and I said, I need to look at my checks for real. Like, I need to look
Mhm.
at my checks for real. And I decided to do that today. And
Mhm.
I looked at the residual of my checks from
Mhm.
comparison to this year and last year. And guess what?
Mhm.
It's almost the same. The
Mm,
only difference is the bonuses. And I
mm,
was like, okay, wait a second. Because the only difference was the bonuses that were there opposed to the actual residual. And so how
right.
many times do we really freak ourselves out for something that's not something that needs to be
Yeah.
freaked out about? And so that
Mhm.
was so good for me. And I was just
Yeah.
reminded of that when you did that for Sherry Lynn.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is just like anything else in life. It's a business of seasons. Just like life is there's a season for everything, right? And I just think that the season where that is upon us, for those who do what they need to do, it is going to be a season of harvest, and I think, when you were talking, Rachel, I think it's the scripture that says you will reap a harvest, but the last part we always forget is if you do not give up, right? And I think, you talk about a lot of repeaters. The thing that I've never really understood is it is so much harder to stop and start over than to just keep going. And I can't, I couldn't do it. I always just told Sherry Lynn, I said, we will never do this again. If we stop, we're stopping, because it, the runs to ambassador 3 times, it's a lot, right? But I always said, we're not going to stop, because if you stop, all your momentum stops too. And so you just got to show up. You got to show up even when you feel like it, even when you don't. And you got to allow just your consistency to be the thing that carries you and carries your team and leads strong each and every day, And so um, I'm looking forward to 24. I think we're going to have a lot of fun, and I think the Lord is getting ready to prepare us for something great, and it's going to be exciting to see. I've never been more excited from the field perspective or corporate perspective of what's coming in 2024. And so, those who want to roll with us, and who want to go with this, we're ready. And those who don't, that's cool. We wish you well. We want you to be blessed no matter what you do. But those who want to come with us and want to put it in, it's going to be special, Rachel. It's going to be something like we haven't seen in a really long time, and it's going to start early next year. So I'm trying. I'm
I
trying to enjoy Christmas. I'm trying to enjoy a new product launch on the 27th, but I am ready for January 1st and to get the year started, because it's gonna be special. So.
So I'm excited about the launch that we have coming up next week.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, for my team especially, I'm not sure about other teams, but my team especially, like, this is a product that is about to pop. Like, it's about to go
Mhm.
down. Um,
Mhm.
I think that's about all I can say, but it's about to go crazy. And so, anyways, I want you to just any last words on, I mean, because you really just gave us that fire. But any last words for just the man? I would say the day to day, get off your butt
Mhm.
and go get it. Like, not the
Yeah.
excuses, but just the day to
Yeah.
day. Like, you, even just the negating of the lies. Like, I'm gonna tell you what I've heard this week. Like, about worthiness, and I'm not minimizing what people are really feeling,
Yeah.
but just the
Mhm.
negating the worthiness, the isolation, because it's so repetitive. It's the same stuff over and over again. I'm telling you, like, the enemy does not have different tactics. If you pay
Mhm.
attention, it's the same thing over and over and over again. And so, even for you, how do you combat these regular, minute, like, so you can tell, like, you're predictable, you know what I'm saying? Like, the enemy is predictable. How do you negate
Mhm.
these things even for yourself, so that you're able to get up every single day and understand that you have a calling that's higher than anything
Mhm.
that the enemy is throwing your way, and you cannot allow him to stop you
Yeah.
from what it is that God has for all of us on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, it may sound just too simple, but whenever I know something, a thought comes into my head, whenever I hear, so and so said this, or whatever it is, and it frustrates me, or it tries to get me sidetracked, I just say, "Hey, God, this is your battle. Like, it's not my battle. This is your battle. I have one job every day: to work hard, glorify him in everything that I do. Anything outside of that, it is a distraction, right? Anything outside of that, I'm not going to wear the weight of this company when I can give it to him, right? I'm not going to wear the weight of pressure. I'm not going to wear the weight of uh fearing that I'm going to fail. I'm not carrying that each and every day because I don't have to. All I have to do is relinquish it to the Lord every day. That my job is to please the Lord and to work hard every day. And if I can keep that the main thing, yes, there's always going to be thoughts, there's going to be frustrations. But if you can just stop yourself and say, this isn't mine to carry, it's not my weight. I'm not strong enough. You know what? Like, let's be honest. You think John Alcala is strong enough to carry a company? You're crazy. Like, no, I'm not. So I'm not going to wear that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it to him and I'm going to let him handle that. But I'm going to be obedient. I'm going to work real hard every day. And so, I just think that so many times that, we allow the enemy and we choose to wear it. And it's almost like we wear it as a badge of honor that, like I'm handling this, I'm going through this. No, that's dumb. You don't have to. Like you may have to deal with it, but you don't have to wear it. Like it's not your battle. It's not the battle is his, right? And so that's how I approach it every day. Me not feeling worthy, none of us are worthy. We're sinners saved by grace. What are we worthy of? We're nothing. We're nothing without him. Like that's the way, I don't know where your faith stands, but like I never feel worthy. You know why? Because I shouldn't. It's by the grace of God that I'm even in this world, that I'm even able to live. I'm even able to do anything that I've called to do. So there's going to be days you don't feel worthy. You know what? The only reason we can feel worthy at all is by the grace of God, right? There's going to be days that you don't feel qualified. You don't feel like you're smart enough. You don't feel like join the club. Like, dear Lord, join the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, if any man lacks wisdom, they should ask and he'll give us our wisdom. It's not about what you think about yourself. It's not about what you think people are saying about you. It's who you were created to be. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, he knew you. He set you apart. Own it. Enjoy it, live it. I love being the dumbest one in the room. I don't care. I love learning. I don't care. I can learn from anyone. I'm not insecure about that. I own it. You know why? Because it's not me who's going to make miracles happen. It is the Lord allowing my hard work to allow miracles to happen. Yes, we are his hands and feet, but that's what we are, his hands and feet. He will do it for us, but we have to put the work in. You can pray, you can hope, you can wish, you can say, Lord, I receive it. But if you don't get up off your rear every day and do something about it, I don't know how he's going to bless that. You have to do the work so that he can do his work. And that's how I approach it every day. So if you wake up and you're down and I don't feel worthy and I don't know if this is for me and yada, 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 join the club. There are millions of people out there that just feel exactly like you. But the difference between the doers and the people who don't do it is they put action in and they believe if I put action in consistently, the Lord's going to bless it. And then when that happens, you see miracles happen. Me and Sherry Lynn, the only reason we have gone ambassador 3 times, the only reason we are here is because we decided to work really hard and trust God for the rest. And so I'm with you, Rachel. I'm not diminishing feelings. I'm not making you feel down or, making you feel bad. I'm just saying there's a reality out there that in order to be who you're called to be, you're going to have those days. But one, it's not yours to wear. And two, we're vessels. Like we're nothing more. Like we are sinners saved by grace, who God has given us everything we need to succeed. So let's just live in that. When I live in that, there's a lot less pressure, right? When I live in that, I can function in life. I can be a good father. I can be a good husband. I can be a good businessman. But it's when I start trying to think it's me that my world comes crashing down. And so if your world feels like it's crashing down, it's probably because you think you're a little bit stronger than you are. So if I were you, I would humble myself and I would just own it that I have one job, and that's to please him, put people first, but put hard work in. You do those 3 things, great things happen. Is it going to be easy? No. Is life going to be perfect? No. But if you keep the main thing, great things are going to happen. So that's my pep talk. If you're feeling down, Join the club. There's going to be days we all feel down, but it's what you do in that moment. Are you going to own it? You're going to wear it? For me, I'm just going to relinquish it. I'm going to keep the main thing the main thing. And I just believe that, it sounds really simple. It's harder than that, but it's a simple concept I mean, the day you think you've arrived is the day that you better look out. And so if that's you, just look out. But most of us, it's time for us to just say, it's okay that I don't feel perfect. It's okay that I don't feel worthy. It's okay that I had a rough day. It's okay that my team didn't show up today. It's okay, that all of my kids are sick and here I am trying to work a bit. It's okay to have all those feelings, but it is not okay for you to wear them. It's not okay for you to think that you can fix it. It's not okay to think that you are in control. If you think you're in control, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother Excellence Zoom, because we're not, right? We have to serve him, put the work in, and keep people. It's all about people. Do those three things. I promise you, over time, you will win.
Yes, yes. Over time, you will win. But I believe he's in a season of expediting. So I think
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be real good. All right, Mr. John, we're here for it. There's
All
so much
right.
work to do. I know that people's hearts and minds are encouraged, right? I show some love in these comments. I would even know. I'm gonna put up a post and everybody could just comment on it and share one thing that just really stood out to you tonight, because so many things were just driven, and I just appreciate you sharing your heart, because that's what's needed. And that's one thing I just love about this company, is that the real, the raw, but the vulnerable and the honest and the care and concern, the God, okay, all of that. And just appreciate you taking time away from your family tonight to talk to us. And I'm just gonna have you pray us out.
Yeah,
And God forget
absolutely.
it in. And I know Lanisa asked in the comments, like, who is going to be the one? And don't just be saying it, because some of y'all be like, it's me, and then you ain't gonna put up, you're not gonna even send no messages, you're not gonna do no events, you're not gonna do no parties. So who for real is talking about being on stage, okay? And my team knows I'm sick of it. They know. I tell them I've been sick for years, okay? Like, I am sick of it.
So, Rachel, let me speak to
I
that
okay,
definitely.
yes.
So, I do want to speak to that. Guys, he just shared his heart. He shared his heart. And if you all didn't get that, you missed it. But this is the last thing I need you to also understand. He shared his heart and he gave you a challenge. He said he heard me at that sales meeting, and he says he's there to support in any way he can. And the company is there. But you know what? You have to do your part. So going in 2024, we've got to eliminate any excuses. At this point, it's all on us, because nothing can set you back or hold you back from the destiny that you've been called to. And as long as you walk in your authentic truth, it's there. So thank you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
We love
much.
you guys and so proud of you. Lanisa, is awesome getting to have you in the office. We don't get to do that enough. We're going to do it more next year. I think we can both agree it was a crazy 12 months. So next year we'll get to have more fun. In Jesus' name, we'll get to have more fun. But I love you guys. I'm so proud of you. And thanks for letting me be on tonight. And we'll do this again. Usually I'm flying on Thursdays. So it was nice to be able to hop on, because usually right now I'm just walking in the door on a Thursday night. So let me pray you out, and love you guys very much. Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this group, Lord, and God, I thank you what you're doing in this company, Father, for this is your company. It's not mine. It's not Mark's, actually. It's yours. And God, I just pray that your will be done. We trust and we believe that your ways are always best. And God, I just pray for everyone on this Zoom. I pray for their families first, God. I just pray, God, whatever this Christmas season holds, Father, that you would just be with them. God, if there's brokenness this Christmas season, God, that you would be their healer. But God, the families that life is good right now, God, I pray just for a joyous season, Father, a season of just putting you first and understanding that all the blessings come from you. And God, I just thank you for the team that you've assembled, Father. It's not me assembling a team, Father. It's just me being obedient to who you want on this team, God, and who you want to bring into this business. And Lord, I just pray a blessing, Father, over every person and every team represented on this call. I pray that you would just you would give them divine appointments, Father, that as they're talking to people, as they're on social media, as they're walking through the grocery store, as they're getting their hair done, whatever it is, Father, that you would give divine appointments for people who are supposed to join them on this adventure. God, I speak blessings, God, not just financially, but physically, Lord. I pray that you would keep us healthy there in the season, Father, so that we're able to just do everything you've called us to do and everything you've called us to be. And Lord, I just pray for this coming year, Father, as we close out this year, we celebrate your birth and we close out this year, Father. I pray for people that they would dream again in 2024, God, that they would see themselves unlike they've seen themselves ever before, God, knowing that you want what's best for us, God, that you want to bless us, Father. You want to bless your children. And I pray that 2024 isn't just a year of a good paycheck, but Father, it's a year of life change, God. It's a year of growth in our leadership. It's a year of growth in our teams and hundreds of thousands of people's lives being changed, Father. Lord, I pray that you would just give us a grace and favor among all men, Father, in everything that we do going forward, Lord. So I just thank you for this team. I thank you for this time. God, I pray that something that was said, God, by you through me, Father, would pierce straight to the heart and it would create action, Father, for your glory, Lord. We love you. We thank you for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Appreciate you guys. You'll have a Merry Christmas and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Amen. Good night, guys. Good
Christmas.
night.